Welcome to my channel.
Today I am going to see the division algorithm because I will start group theory as soon as possible. In CSR Net, group theory is very important, but without division algorithm, any theorem of group theory cannot possible. So today I am going to discuss about division algorithm. Okay. At first, let's see the statement of the division algorithm. Given any two positive integers a and b with b greater than 0, then there exists unique integer q and r with 0 less than equal to r strictly less than b such that a equal to qb plus r. Here the important thing, this remainder lies between 0 and b, but it is not allowed to be equal b. Okay, and another important thing, this number is unique. Okay, now what do these q and r represent? If I have done long division in school, then you would realize that q is nothing but quotient and r is nothing but remainder. That means q stand for quotient and r stand for remainder. Okay, let's see one example. By division algorithm, 49 is a multiple of 9. Okay, first see the picture. Let's see the real line. This is 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54 and 49 here. 49 equal to 5 into 9 plus 4. Okay. Here 4 is the remainder. Okay. And 4 this is the A. Okay, and this is B, and 4 always greater than 0 and less than 9. Have you understood? Okay. Now let's see the proof. That we have to prove there exists such unique integers q and r. That means at first we have to prove existence. We all of us know the well ordering property of natural number. By well ordering property, every non-empty set of positive integer contains a least element. That means at first we have to prove existence. For this, we need a set. Let us consider set of remainders. Here, a equal to qb plus r. That means r equal to a minus qb. Let us consider q equal to n. Let the set a is equal to a minus nb such that n belongs to integer and a minus nb greater than equal to 0, since why a minus nb greater than 0? Since r lies between 0 and strictly less than b. Okay, since r greater than equal to 0. Okay. First condition, let a greater than equal to 0 and let n equal to 0. Then that implies a also belongs to S. Second case, a strictly less than 0. Okay, and consider n equal to a. Then a minus nb equal to a minus ab, which is equal to a times 1 minus b. And this is negative, and in statement b always greater than 0. Okay, that means this is also negative. Negative multiply negative, that means this is positive. So this is belongs to the set, Okay. That means S is non-empty. Then by well ordering property, every non-empty set of positive integer contains a least element. So by well ordering property, let R be the least element of the set. Okay, well, then what is R? R equal to A minus QB. Okay, for some integer Q. Since R belongs to S, that means R always greater than equal to 0, and we have to prove R less than B. That means by the statement we have to show R strictly less than B. Suppose by contradiction, suppose R greater than equal to B, that imply R minus B strictly greater than equal to 0, but R equal to A minus Q times B, then R minus B equal to A minus QB minus B, that imply A minus Q plus 1 times B. Since R greater than equal to 0, this term always greater than equal to 0. Okay, so A minus Q plus 1 times B always belongs to S. Well, but A minus Q plus 1 times B strictly less than A minus QB, who is also strictly less than R. This is the contradiction our assumption, because I consider R be the least element of the set S, but here a minus qb strictly less than r. That means our assumption r greater than equal to b is wrong. So r always strictly less than b. Okay? That means we have found a pair of integers q and r with 0 less than equal to r strictly less than b, such that the condition a equal to qb plus r. Okay? Now we have to prove the uniqueness. Okay? Let's see the contradiction. Suppose there exists another pair of integer q dash and r dash such that 0 less than equal to r dash strictly less than b. Okay? And a equal to q dash b plus r dash. Okay? And let r greater than equal to r dash. Okay? Then r minus r dash always greater than equal to 0. Since a equal to qb plus r, who is equal to q dash b plus r dash, okay, we know that q dash b minus qb equal to r minus r dash. But since 0 less than equal to r minus r dash, that means we all of know in statement r lies between 0 and b. So we can write it. That means 0 less than equal to q dash minus q times b, who is strictly less than b. Okay? And remember this statement. In statement, always b greater than 0. So I can divide it by b. That means 0 less than equal to q dash minus q, who is strictly less than 1. Okay? But q dash minus q is an integer. So q dash minus q belongs to, since this belongs to 0 less than equal to q dash minus q, who is strictly less than 1, that means this is equal to 0. That imply q dash equal to q. Okay? And this is the proof of uniqueness. Okay? This is the division algorithm for natural number. Now I will see the division algorithm for polynomial, and this is very important topic for CSNA. What is the division algorithm of the polynomial? Let's see. The statement is, let K be any field and fxgx belongs to the field Kx. Then there exists a unique integer Qx and Rx such that fx equal to gx qx plus rx, where degree of rs greater than equal to 0, strictly less than degree of gx. Here fx gx be the polynomial with coefficient field, okay, and qx called the quotient and rx called the remainder, okay. Well, let's see one example. Let x cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 8x be divided and divisor is x cube minus 3x plus 2, okay. Let's see the example. X cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 8, sorry, this is x square minus 3x plus 2 be the divisor. Here the degree 3, here the degree 2. So multiply x square minus 3x plus 2 with x and subtract x cube minus 3x square plus 2x, okay. Then after subtract it will be minus 3x square plus 10x minus 8. Here the coefficient 1, here minus 3. So multiply with minus 3. Then it will be minus 3x square plus 9x minus 6. Then the remainder will be x minus 2, okay. This is the remainder because degree of divisor 2 and degree of remainder x minus 2. Then by division algorithm we can write x cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 8 equal to x square minus 3x plus 2 into x minus 3 plus x minus 2, okay. This is fx, this is gx, this is qx, this is rx, okay. Well, now the corollary one of division algorithm is, let alpha belongs to k is a 0 of fx. You all of know what is the 0 of a polynomial. If alpha be the 0, then f of alpha equal to 0. So let alpha belongs to k is 0 of fx belongs to kx. If and only if fx equal to x minus alpha times gx. Suppose if alpha equal to 0. Do division algorithm with fx and x minus fx and x minus alpha. Then by division algorithm fx equal to x minus alpha times gx plus rx, okay, where 0 less than equal to degree of rx, who is strictly less than equal to degree of x minus alpha, okay. Either from this condition we conclude either rx equal to 0 or rx be any number of the field, okay. Then from the zeros, since alpha be the zeros, then f of alpha equal to 0. That imply alpha minus alpha g of alpha plus r of alpha equal to beta. Okay, this is 0, this is 0. That means beta equal to 0. Okay, that imply fx equal to x minus alpha times gx. Okay, right. Second corollary is, let alpha be the root of fx and f prime x. What is f prime x? F prime x is derivative. If and only if fx equal to x minus alpha square into gx. Okay, that means in other word it is root of degree 2 polynomial. Okay, let's see the proof. Since alpha is the root of fx, then f of alpha equal to 0 and f prime alpha equal to 0. Okay, since alpha is the root of fx, from corollary 1 we can write fx equal to x minus alpha into gx. Okay, taking derivative both sides, then I will get f prime x equal to x minus alpha g prime x plus gx. Okay, since alpha is also root of derivative, so we can write f prime alpha equal to 0 equal to alpha minus alpha g prime alpha plus g of alpha. Okay, that implies 0 equal to 0 plus g of alpha. That implies g of alpha equal to 0. Since g of alpha equal to 0, that means from corollary 1 we can write gx equal to x minus alpha times hx. Okay, because alpha is the root of the polynomial g. Okay, gx, and put it the value of gx in 1. Then by putting we can get fx equal to x minus alpha square into hx. Okay, and this is the proof. Okay. Other side, suppose fx equal to x minus alpha square into gx. Suppose that imply f of alpha equal to alpha minus alpha square into g of alpha. Okay, which is equal to 0. Since this is equal to 0, if I derivative this term, then fx will be f prime x equal to 2x minus alpha times gx plus x minus alpha square times g prime x. If I put alpha, then f prime alpha equal to 2 times alpha minus alpha g of alpha plus alpha minus alpha square g prime alpha. Okay, this is 0, this is the 0, that means a prime alpha equal to 0. This is the proof of corollary 2. Okay, from above corollary 1 and corollary 2, we can write a non-zero polynomial fx belongs to field kx of degree n can have at most n distinct root in the field k. Okay, and this is very important conclusion. Okay.